now. Okay. Note card 1. Note card 2. Buying a new home can be very exciting and at the same time very stressful. For most people, purchasing a home is the largest purchase they'll ever make in their life. There's a lot to consider, and knowing the steps to take in the order to take them can help the transaction to go much more smoother. One of the first things, my name is Tracy Brown, and today I'm going to talk to you about the steps to purchasing a home. One of the first things to consider when purchasing your home is location. Do you want to have a home that's on a beach, or perhaps you like the changing seasons? Do you want something out in the country with lots of land, perhaps a farm, or maybe in a subdivision where the houses are a little bit closer together? Some people prefer city living. Maybe a condo would be your choice with no maintenance. Another thing to consider when purchasing is safety. Is the area that you're going to be living in safe for you and your family? One thing you can do to find out is check with your local police department. Check and see if they have any police reports in your area. Another thing would be to drive through the neighborhood you're looking at moving into. Sometimes neighbors might be outside that you could chat with and see how they like the area and if they've had any problems. A lot of neighborhoods have a neighborhood watch. You can check to see if your neighborhood has that in place. And then lastly, you can check the National Sex Offender List. The website is www.ncopw.gov. And you can look in your area and get a list of any sex offenders that might be located in the area you're looking to move. Another thing to consider with location is proximity. How close do you live? Are you going to be living to your job or to a school? Perhaps you want to be close to a park or beaches or shopping. And another thing is public transportation. How close are you to the current public transportation? If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know it when you find it. Steve Jobs. When you're looking for a house, you might not find it right away, but keep looking, and you'll know when the house is right, and you'll fall in love with it. The next thing to consider after location would be financing. The first step in financing is obtaining your pre-approval. What a pre-approval does is help one to know, first of all, if they have any credit issues that they might need to work on. The second thing is how much of a house that they can afford. And lastly, what type of loan program they qualify for. There are several different loan programs available. On the HUD.gov website, there's a lot of information regarding FHA and VA loans. Those are both government type loans, and they both have advantages and disadvantages. With an FHA VA, it can be no to low down payment. The interest rates tend to be a little bit lower, and they're more flexible on credit if you have credit issues or even no credit. The cons would be that they do have PMI, and they are a little bit more stricter on the condition of the property. Another type of loan would be a conventional loan, and a good website for information is the FHFA.gov website. That's a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac website. With a conventional loan, it does require a little bit more of a down payment, but they are more flexible on the condition of the property, and they have the different MI options, PMI options, and even a no PMI option. And then the last type of financing would be a construction loan, and that's if you decided you wanted to have your own house built. You would look at getting construction financing. Once you have your financing in place, the next step would be to find a realtor. A good website for that would be realtor.com. And on that site, you can search the area that you're looking at and find a good realtor to help you with your search. And then also they have a lot of homes that are listed for sale, so you could get an idea of what the average price range is in the area you're looking for, and even see some of the homes that you might consider. When looking for a realtor, what you should look for is somebody that you feel comfortable with, somebody that you have a rapport with and is easy to work with. Also somebody that has very flexible hours that can accommodate your time schedule. Somebody that is familiar with the area that you're purchasing in, and somebody that is knowledgeable on the laws and regulations. Each city, state, county has different rules and regulations in their area, and somebody that knows those and is familiar with them would be really helpful. Remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. I work with a lot of people that fall in love with a house, and for some reason it doesn't work out, and they keep looking, and they think that they're never going to find that house, and they end up finding one that they love even better. So don't be discouraged if you get outbid on your first offer, or it just doesn't work out on the first house you choose. Next, it's all about the details. Once you found a house that you want to put an offer in, it's time to negotiate. Some of the negotiations that you'll work on with your realtor will be the purchase price. Another one would be the closing date, when you anticipate closing on your new home. There's also contingencies to consider. If you have a home that has to be sold before you can purchase your new home, that's a home sale contingency, and also financing contingencies. Financing contingencies is the date that your lender has to have your loan approval in by. There's also seller concessions to negotiate. A seller concession is money that the seller gives you to help pay your closing costs if you purchase their home. The next step is actual loan process. This is the longest, it seems like the longest process of the home buying process, the longest time frame. During this time is when you'll have your home inspections done. You'll have maybe termite inspections done or pest inspections. The appraisal will be done. That determines the value of the home that you're purchasing. And then additional documentation. This is the time that your lender will contact you to get any additional information that they need to finish and get you your final loan approval. Your final loan approval is when everything is complete and the lender says you are ready to close on your new house. The next step would be the closing process. At the closing, that's where you will actually sign all of your legal papers, and the transfer of the property actually takes place. Normally, that whole turnaround time from the time that you find your house and make your offer to the closing is somewhere around 30 days. Could be longer depending upon circumstances. The closing usually takes place at an attorney's office, a realtor's office, or most likely at a title company. And at the closing, you will be present. Your sellers will usually be present. Their realtors, both attorneys, and then there's an agent from the title company that will help coordinate all the paperwork and make sure everything closes properly. When all of that is done, you get handed your new keys to your home. You can't have everything you want, but you can have the things that really matter to you. If owning a new home for you and your family is something that's important to you, you can achieve it. It's important as a customer purchasing such a large purchase to be aware and educated on all the steps in the purchase process. That might mean location, your terms of your loan, the amount you qualify, and who you choose to work with. Having all the information and facts, as well as a supportive professionals, can make the decision to buy a home not only one of the easiest, but also one of the best decisions you can make. Thank you for your time.
Good.